This episode is sponsored by Adorn Comfy Closet, where comfort, style, and satisfaction unite. Is it really that deep?
Not really, but we make it that way.
Well, let's casually talk about it.
Let's do it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Casually Deep podcast. I am Oaklyn Jonas Galloway, aka OJ to OG, but I still got the juice.
And I am Ressie G, not Cardi B, but I still get to the money. Oh,
and we want to thank every single one of you guys for tuning into the podcast today. We have an incredible show for you guys. We're going to have some fun talk based on a casual conversation. We're talking about our dream cast of talk shows. And this is just another one of those random, we're on the phone chatting about business, chatting about life, chatting about any and everything. And this is one of those things that Ressie will just randomly kind of spit out to me and just be like, top 5 talk show hosts, go. And I love that because it'll come completely out of nowhere, but we'll spend an hour dissecting these and we'll go back and forth, we'll debate, we'll figure it out, but then somehow we'll always come together with an agreement on at least one or two people that we're like, yes. Or we'll always drop one where we'll be talking and we'll be like, you know what, this person should be back on TV, or this person should be back on TV, and we will drop somebody who neither one of us would have ever thought about, and we'll be like, yes, where are they? Shout out to you. But in this episode, we decided to do things a little differently just to shake it up for the audience, and we're going to, we've each separately compiled our own talk show. We've kind of given it a name, a little format, and 6 people who we would like to see on our individual panels. Mm-hmm. Now, neither one of us know who's on each other's list. We don't know the names. We just kind of tucked off to our own corners and just figured it out, and we're coming together and we're going to be reacting to each other's list live in front of you guys. I'm excited.
Let's get to the conversation. My talk show, if I was given an unlimited budget, mm-hmm. and all the people would say yes, mm-hmm. and the studio was very convenient to get to, we're going to make an absolutely fabulous profit off of it, the show would be called The Readout.
Okay.
All
right.
I would call it The Readout, and mainly because The Readout was a segment in another show that I did, mm-hmm. Called Chase and Chat. And it was like our final moment where we would read out somebody, kind of like our version of Donkey of the Day or whatever.
Okay.
But the readout would be it. So my cast would consist of an amazing 6 people. My number 1.
Okay.
The icon, Wendy Williams.
Of course.
In good health, doing her thing, number 1, Wendy
Absolutely.
Williams. Because that's what I want my moderator to be.
I was just about to ask, so she's going to be the moderator, mm-hmm. clearly.
And quiet as it's kept, it ain't really kept too quiet, she was one of the best reality reunion hosts ever, and nobody ever talks about that. She's at the top of my list. Andy Cohen is Andy Cohen, whatever, but sure. Her and Nina Parker...
Down.
But, so my first one would be Wendy Williams. Mm-hmm. My second one, because I want to see her in a different space, would be Niecy Nash.
Oh!
Because Niecy Nash is always like that home girl, girl, what's going on? Very much that.
Everybody's favorite auntie.
Everybody's favorite. I didn't say auntie because she's not that old, but big cousin.
Very that.
Curveball.
Okay.
Because I'm really onto her because of you. Crystal Mickoff. I think Crystal is she's so adjacent to Black culture respectfully.
Yeah!
And she is a hoot. She's so proper and conservative at the same time that it just would be a good very much like the Meghan McCain of the moment.
Yeah.
Not as radical, of course, but like she belongs, but not really.
Very that. Like, she's in the room because she's qualified, but she ain't really friends with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be very Jeannie Mai in the way, like, she's an agent. Mm-hmm. She's an Asian that's adjacent to Black culture, but not in a problematic way.
Right. Like, you're not appropriating. You just appreciate the culture, cool, and don't come at me that way.
That.
I want to throw some men in there.
Okay.
I want to go dig one up. Perez Hilton.
Okay.
Very controversial. I think that he is definitely will and always forever be at the post of before there was a Jason Lee, before there was an Armand Wiggins.
Credit where it's due.
There was a Perez Hilton.
That is true.
And I just really feel like people, I mean, he may have done like some controversial things or whatever, or did some things. I don't know what all he's done, like negative, but I just know that I've always lived for him, you know, in a particular way.
Right.
I want to go and get somebody from the Gap. Back, way back, back.
Not digging in the crates.
Yes. 90s.
You know, that's my stilo.
I want to be on this show because I feel like she was an icon. She was the moment. And I don't think that she gets her things. I don't think her talk show was on long enough because she was overshadowed by another Black woman.
Okay.
Rolanda.
Oh, girl! Oh, my God!
I want somebody to go and get Rolanda so that she can get her things. I need Rolanda to get her things.
Where is Rolanda? Oh, my God.
Where's Ro?
Unsung icon. Yes.
I need Rolanda.
Wow.
I need somebody to go and tell me where Rolanda is so we can go and get her.
You really took it back to the trap with that one.
Last but not least, because we need a trendy.
There's another one. Who? There's more.
No, this is just the last one. My 6'1". Somebody trendy, somebody current, somebody that I think would appreciate the opportunity. Terrell Grice.
Yeah.
I think that he would work good in a group of tenured people. Solo, not so much in that, because it's like, you know, stuff may get a little heavy or a little deep or whatever. But I do think that he knows what he knows when it comes down to pop culture. He is so sweet and quirky that I think more people need to see that example on TV, especially coming from a Black gay man.
Yeah.
And
he would give me like an Adrian Bailon on the real.
Right.
Very much that.
Even though I ain't really
young and fun, but like she qualified.
You know, I wish one person I really did not like on the real. Who was the one person I just could not stand on the real? Guess.
Probably Amanda Seales.
I'm talking a real, like a permanent,
like an OG.
No, well, like a permanent person.
Who was there the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Like an actual co-host, like a person that was on the real. One of the co-hosts that I just could not stand. I wish she would not have been there.
Jeannie?
No, Lonnie Love. Can't stand
her. I really didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say Lonnie.
I wish she was.
Fair enough, though.
I wish she wasn't there. But I mean, I'm happy she got the out, but it's just like, she always had an attitude.
If you could have put another female comedian in her spot, who would you have put?
Another female comedian? Mm-hmm. They gotta be Black?
They don't have to be.
If we sticking with Black, what is her name?
Because I thought of one, as soon as you said don't have to be Black, I was like,
Nicole Byers. Even though she's a big star now.
Yeah.
And I think she probably would have been out of the budget. So if we had to get somebody on the same level as, like, say, Alani Love, somebody on the same level of, like, Alani Love that could have came and she was Black. Go get some more. Go get Samora, because I think Samora would have had an opinion. But see, one thing I like about Samora is she does her research. It's always good research over me search.
Hello.
And shout out to Consciously. And I really always appreciate, even with her stand-up, she educates and then she hits you with the... And I think that she would have been able to be... I think that she needs to be somebody's writer on a show.
Yeah. And she could have also been really good on the talk, too.
Right.
The dynamic of that cast, she would have been kind of funny on the talk. I do think she would have been great on the real, though. Mm-hmm. Because that show in the beginning wasn't too political. It wasn't too deep or too serious. So she could key, but, still...
I still want to know the tea on why Tamar left the real. It still isn't very clear to me, even though, I was happy that she got the job because it was like, she's just, the spoiled brat. We wanted to see her have her moment because she always wanted it and all of that. So, yeah. But yeah, that's my 6. So, recap. Wendy Williams.
Icon.
Niecy Nash.
Sickening.
Crystal Minkoff.
Love.
Rolanda. Perez Hilton. And Terrell Grice.
Perez Hilton, qualified. Terrell Grice, great look.
Not beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. So, for me, I'm gonna gag you probably all the way around. And there's probably only one person on my list who I feel like you'd be like, makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because the concept of my show is a little different. It's a little, it's an original, I guess, concept. My show would be called The Cypher. And I want to get a cast of all people within hip hop who have an intelligent perspective, right? People who are voices in hip hop, well respected voices in hip hop, but also are still on the pulse within the culture, like very just in the mix, right? So I wanted to split it up, and I wanted to do 3 men, 3 women, right? Mm-hmm. And so my first person on the list, Killer Mike. And I know we gonna need one person that's polarizing, right? Because on one hand, he gives great political opinion, he gives great soundbite, he's knowledgeable, he's, legendary rapper, Run the Jewels is incredible, all of those things. However, his opinion tends to split the black community a bit. So I would love to see how he gets in the mix and see, like, based on what type of things go on. Because I would want the show to not just be about hip-hop, but I would want hip-hop to be the sounding board for it to branch out into other cultures, because I would love to hear these people talk about politics, talk about, government, or like, societal issues, all of those things, but from a hip-hop marginalized perspective, right? So Killer Mike is one. My second one is somebody who I don't think anybody would think of, but because of the moment that he's having right now commercially and like his visibility, I think he would be an interesting person to see what perspective he would bring to talk. Ludacris.
Okay, Christopher Bridges.
Very that. And I think, just people hearing Ludacris alone, I think people wouldn't realize that, like, maybe I don't think that they would think that he would have much to say. But I think with his background in radio, I think that gives him enough media articulation to be able to kind of to blend into the media space kind of easily. Plus, with him having the State Farm commercials right now and the whole Fast and the Furious link, and, he's like... So I think he would be great in that space and would be an interesting voice. My third guy is somebody who's technically already in this space, but would also be another, like, polarizing opinion. Joe Budden. Joe Budden. I am somebody, as a fellow Virgo, I relate to Joe Budden a lot in the passion that he delivers his opinions in. I know a lot of people don't fuck with Joe. I get it. But Joe Budden, okay? Mm-hmm. Now let's get to the ladies.
Hey, ladies.
Okay? Because there's a couple people in here. One is a woman in hip-hop. Well, if I give you the credentials, that'll already tell it. Queen Latifah.
Period. Did you like her talk show?
I liked her first talk show.
The first one, not the second one.
I didn't like the second one.
I liked the first one more than the second one too.
Same.
Yeah.
Same with Arsenio Hall.
I feel like the second one was kind of like a space filler for something else, and then we find out Equalizer. So it's like, girl, okay, if you wanted to check, girl, we understand. But
anyway, but yeah, I think easy pick, easy female pick, woman in hip hop, very simple. Second person is somebody who I would love to see in the talk show space, just because she's so vested as a voice for hip hop, and I think to see her in a more elevated space would do wonders. Angie Martinez.
I always felt like Angie Martinez I love her podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I love
IRL.
In real life. I loved when she did when she was the moderator for the thing they did with was it Revolt, where it was Michelle Obama, William Harlow, Kelly Rowland, Tina Knowles, and I think her, and I think that was everybody. If I'm missing somebody, my bad. But yeah, I like that too, because I like her in that space of playing that moderator role, and I think she's good. I don't know she was on radio for a long time, so
still on radio.
Yeah, so I mean she good, but I just wish that she got more.
I think she's one of those people who truly follows what is instinctually natural for her, and what kind of signals that for me is the story that she always tells about being cast as a judge for American Idol. You didn't know that? Mm-hmm. She was cast on the same season, I believe, as Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres was on American Idol?
Yep.
Oh.
Wild, I know. But, and she was like...
And it aired?
I can't remember if Angie's episodes aired.
No, not Angie, but Ellen DeGeneres aired?
It aired.
That's crazy.
It aired. It was a wild season. But Angie said that she ended up quitting American Idol because the judging part of it and the breaking someone's spirit and like crushing their dreams, it didn't sit right with her. Mm-hmm. And so she was like, I get the idea. Great check. Lovely check. But it just wasn't worth it because she didn't feel right doing the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like she's one of those people who's probably been offered a talk show, but I feel like she's one of those people who they probably would have tried to change and like whitewash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Her radio show is syndicated though, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, she good.
Yeah, because she was on Hot 97 for 15, 20 years, and then she moved over to Power 105, like, I think right before COVID or during COVID. It was like the last 4 or 5 years, and she's been over there killing it.
Yeah, I mean,
doing the things.
And she has that voice too.
Yeah, and Angie is a personality. She's just feisty enough to like get in the mix and like have an opinion and like give debate, but she's just chill enough to keep the peace in the room.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She's just that middle piece that's like the equalizer.
And she know everybody.
She know everybody.
She know every fucking body.
She's an easy she would get all the guests. Mm-hmm. She'd be able to book anybody.
I think if she was to get a show, I think she'd probably have the same level of success that Sherry Shepherd is having right now.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like people like them. I'm happy for Sherry. I love Wendy, but I'm happy for Sherry because I feel like she was always like the step kid, that never got the opportunity to get there. And now that she has that op and she is riding that wave, I'm very, very happy for her. I hope she stays on television for a long time till she gray.
She's so good at it.
Yeah.
She's honestly really fucking good at it.
And I like that she's so different from Wendy, even though it's clearly the same format.
She has the Wendy format, but to me, she gives Black Ellen. She gives Black Ellen to me. And it's just like that effervescent optimism. Like it just.
And I love how she always tells stories about stuff that she just like when she did the when she was nominated for the NAACP award, and she's talking about how she went to the bathroom.
Yes, she had to run back down. Mm-hmm. That was funny as hell.
That was funny. So I mean, I like that she pokes fun at herself, and I hate that. I think she's still paying that man alimony, but I hate when women get caught up in that. But I'm happy that she has something that can keep her up. And then I love how when Black people in the industry that know her come and sit on the couch, it's like I'm happy.
I'm so proud of you, girl.
Right, that
like they all are like,
especially
girl,
Whoopi.
girl.
Like Whoopi, that's one woman.
Because I feel like Whoopi probably championed for her. She was like, she probably made a call or two. Didn't have to, but she probably made a call or two once she heard that, like, she was circulating and was like, girl, y'all better go and get her that check. Y'all stop playing with her. You know what I mean?
Because I never thought that Whoopi Goldberg would be on time.
Everybody, this is OJ the OG, but I still got the juice. And I wanted to tell you guys about Adorn Comfy Closet, where comfort, style, and satisfaction unite. For all of your comfy closet needs, make sure you go and place your order with Adorn Comfy Closet.
Talk show. I mean, she was... I forget how dynamic she is.
I never thought that she would have her own talk show, but when she joined The View, I was like, that makes so much sense.
I wonder how she's going to manage balancing doing Annie and doing The View.
Probably about as well as Wendy Williams did.
Do the show and then go and do the show in the morning, then
Then just head to rehearsal.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Who's the last one?
Last person is somebody who is probably like a random pick. I know most people would probably be like, girl, why her? Especially contextually with all the things she's going through right now in the media. But I feel like this would be a great opportunity for her to kind of use that to her advantage and take it somewhere. And she has a little bit of experience in the media space because she did a show with Joe Budden, Remy Ma. She has she's one of those people who just, no one expects her to have anything of any importance to say. And then she gives you something from a very nuanced perspective. And you're like, I would have never thought of it from that way. But I feel where you coming from. And I feel like she would represent a very specific corner of the hip hop audience.
Okay. She was a guest host on The Real once upon a time, wasn't she?
She guest hosted The Real for a little bit. She did State of the Culture with Joe Budden on Revolt.
Maybe that's what she needs to do. Maybe she need to go and figure out a podcast, get a deal somewhere. I don't know. Remy, to me, I mean, great pick. Because I wouldn't have thought of her, so I'm like, okay, well, she needs something to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that she would do well on a talk show or a podcast. Because I think that her opinion comes from a place of old school, regular girl down the street. That type of thing. You know, girl down the street that kept her house clean. You know, now she got money type of thing.
And I feel like she would probably give the perspective of the girls watching the show. Like, I feel like all the little girls watching the show, they be like, yes. Her, yeah. Like, I feel like most of the girls watching would see themselves in Remy. And then most of the women watching would divvy themselves up between Queen Latifah and Angie Martinez. Mm-hmm. So them two would cover, I feel like Queen Latifah would cover the mature audience. Angie would be somewhere in the middle and get like the young adult 30s, late 20s, 30s audience. And then Remy would get the young adult to mid 20s audience. Then y'all would have them all covered.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're such a hip hop head.
I am. It's my thing.
I just love hip hop.
I love it.
Okay.
There was a few more that I could have pulled from, but like
one more, just a circulating person that you would add into the mix.
One person that was on my list, and then I ended up taking them off, was Big Tigger. Sway. Sway is another one.
Only reason I say no to I don't like Tigger. After how he did Miss Pat, I ain't appreciate that.
Fair enough. Sway was another one on my list.
But you know, even with Tigger though,
Big
like
Boy,
even with it being in Atlanta, Big Boy, that's a good one. Even with being in Atlanta, it's like you hear so many things about Tigger. It's like, you know, for him to have soared how he soared with
Fat Joe was another
and
one
all of that,
too.
it was just like I could do Fat Joe
because his Instagram show was great.
Never watched it.
he basically, you know, he was one of those people during COVID that just got on Instagram Live and was just doing shit. And he basically was doing a whole talk show where he was like interviewing people from hip hop just about their careers. Like the interview that he did with Ashanti was great. But yeah, he was really good in that space. And he co-hosted, I think him and Remy Ma did Wendy Williams for a few weeks.
That is right, yeah.
And they were really great in that space.
I remember that, yeah. Okay. I'm here for it. Love it. Yeah. Well, comment below. Let us know if you had a fantasy talk show, who would be your top 6? This is a very cute and cuddly little episode. Yeah, I would like to know, you know, in the comments, let us know who your top 6 would be if you could create a talk show with no limits to your budget, everything you want, and what your theme would be.
Yeah. And in closing, once again, thank every single one of you guys for being here. We always are going to keep it cash, but always have a deeper purpose. And make sure you guys do what y'all supposed to do. Like, share, subscribe. Leave us 5-star ratings in the Apple, Google, all the places, Spotify. Y'all know where to find us, Casually Deep. Get down in the comments. Let us know who your dream cast will be, what your vision of a talk show would be. Let us know what you thought of our cast. And if there was anybody who shocked you, let us know if y'all know where Rolanda is.
She just was recently in the media in the past year, though. So, I don't know. But comment. And until next time, I'll see you later.